Small Screen Reviews with Clint Baker.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Clint coming to you from Small Screen. It's the middle of the night, and I'm going to talk to you about the first episode of The Bad Batch. First, I need you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you can find out about future videos, and let's get into it. Holy crap. I stayed up. I could have waited till tomorrow, which is today. May the 4th be with you guys. But I stayed up and I watched the first episode of The Bad Batch. Man, I am fired up. I loved it. Of course, Clint likes everything, but man, it was super good. I remember when I first started watching Clone Wars. The first episode, you see Yoda, you see some troopers, and I said, man, I don't know how I'm going to watch this show. This is going to be hard to watch. And it got better and better and better. And by season 3, it was fantastic, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. And it's interesting because the show grew with the fans. As years passed, the fans got older, and so did the show, and more mature. And by the last season of Clone Wars, you had this beautiful cinematic thing that it finished out Ahsoka's story and talked about Order 66 and all that. And this show jumps right into it. And you get the Bad Batch in this. Well, of course, the show's called The Bad Batch, but it goes right into it, and it does a thing that I didn't expect. I didn't know what to expect with this show. I remember these guys. They're clones that have some flaws that make them excel in other things, but they don't follow orders. They're not perfect clones. And every time they introduce these guys, I didn't know what I was going to think about it. I'm like, hey, can we get back to Ahsoka and what's going on? And I remember the episode where they rescue Echo, and by the end of it, I said, no, I think I like this. And when I heard about the show, I said, man, I don't know. To me, troopers, it always seems boring, but these guys are really exciting. And so it jumps right into it. And they did a thing that I'm starting to love, and I'm starting to really get excited. Filoni, is quarterbacking this thing, and he knows so much about Star Wars. I'm getting excited because they did the thing like at the end of Rogue One, when all of a sudden you have this realization that it's dovetailing into episode 4, and all of a sudden it just clicks, and you're like, oh my God, I got goosebumps and was like jumping out of my seat in the theater when that happened. This kind of does the same thing. And all of a sudden, I don't want to do spoilers yet, so we're not going to get into that quite yet. It starts to do that. And all of a sudden you realize, hey, this is connecting characters that I love. And this is what was happening while this was happening. And I know what happened over here. And they start to reveal this thing. And it's beautiful. And it's really fun. I kind of was halfway on my phone when the show started. And all of a sudden he got into it, put the phone away, pay attention, turn the lights out, tunnel vision. And I absolutely loved it. I'm really excited where this is going. And having been a big fan of the Clone Wars, by the end of it, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this. So it's just going to be really good. And to everyone who was sad Clone Wars when it's over and wanted more, this is it. And I'm really excited because I have a feeling they're going to start tying other characters. I have a feeling we're going to see Ahsoka again. I can't wait. So there you go. Now, if you don't want to hear spoilers, I would suggest that you jump to the latter part of this video at this time. All right, now let's get into some spoilers. All righty, man, this show starts, and at the very beginning of the episode, you see a kid Jedi Padawan, and you realize right away, you're like, holy crap, this is Caleb Dune. This is Kanan Jarrus. This is the backstory you never had with in the other shows, and all of a sudden I'm going to get to see some more Kanan, and I'm like, oh, wow. And as a kid, it's kind of funny. His voice is a little bit low for a kid. It's Freddie Prinze Jr. doing the voice. But at first I was like, wait a minute. And I was like, oh, this is this is Kanan with Depa, because they say Caleb Doom, and it took me a second to realize. I said, "Oh yeah, that's Kanan's name," and this is Depa Balaba is master, and they're there, and they got some troops, and he's, yeah, reinforcements are coming. Next thing you know, the Bad Batch shows up, and it's and some stuff goes down, and then it gets to a point where you realize, all of a sudden, oh Nikes, it's Order 66, and it's like, it's a sobering experience. All of a sudden you're realizing, oh, and you start watching that, and the troops, they turn on them, and it gets crazy. And I still don't want to give spoilers. I'm trying not to talk too much about it, but it's really cool. And some of these guys, because they're defective troopers, they don't get affected, and maybe some of them do, and so it adds an interesting dynamic to some people wanting to carry out the order and some people not wanting to. But you know, you've got Wrecker, Wrecking Shop, you got Hunter, who reminds me of Rambo, you know, leading the charge, and Crosshair and stuff. And later they end up going back to Camino, and they introduce a new character. And Kanan, you know, of course he gets away. Kanan Jarrus gets away because we see him when he's older. But they end up seeing a young person. They're like, "What is this kid doing here?" And after a whole bunch of craziness happens, ends up joining with them. I'm not going to go all the way into this thing, but what's really cool about it is they end up with this kid. They end up going after, and you see Admiral Tarkin, Grand Admiral Tarkin. I don't know what his rank is there. I want to call him Grand Moff Tarkin, but he's there. They go through some rigorous tests with him, and he sends them off to go get some insurgents, because at this point you see the speech where the Emperor's like, "Yes, the Jedi's attacked me and scarred my face and blah blah blah. Now we're a galactic empire." So anyway, he sends them off. They go to this place to go get some insurgents, and show up and find out there's no droids or anything there. It's just people. It's just innocent people. And we end up seeing Saul Guerrera, and I'm like, "Oh, cool." And like I said, they just start bringing in all these people and stuff. And by the end of it, they end up going after the kid that they see. They left it behind, but then they realize they needed to rescue this kid and not leave this kid in Camino. So they go back, and old Crosshair has not defied the orders yet, because his programming, I guess, was a little more intense, and so it causes an interesting drama between their teammate and them. And long story short, they end up getting out of there because they're the good guys, but it causes this new drama. And also these guys are taking off, and they have I would call it a temporary enemy who's their friend. He's not in control. They have to get out of there, but he's going to know how to track them. He's going to know their every move because he's one of their teammates. And so this is going to be exciting. And by the end of it, I was, 72 minutes, I think. And I never got bored for a second. I was on pins and needles the whole time. And by the end of it, I'm thinking, man, what are they going to do? And so they take off, and Hunter says, "I have a friend that we can go to. I think I know where to go. This is where we're going to go." That's how they ended the episode, with Sector J19, All right, let's go. So they take off. And I'm like, who the hell are they going to go find? All of the Jedi just are either in hiding or just got attacked. These guys don't have many friends. Where the heck are they going to go? And the only one I could think of was the deserter trooper. If you remember the deserter, I think his name's Cut. I have a feeling they're going to go find him, and because he's the only one that I could think of. It's like who's not in the Empire, who's not a Jedi, that would be relevant and maybe not have the orders to kill anybody. So and he was the deserter with the Twi'lek family. So I have a feeling that's where he's going. or that's where they're going, and we'll see it. We'll see if I'm right. I don't know, but I'm excited. I have a feeling we're going to see Ahsoka in the future, and there's going to be a lot of cool stuff to come. And this gets me excited about everything because they're filling the gaps between all the shows, and Filoni is all about the continuity. Everybody, like anyone who has a question, hey, can we do this or this? He says no, because in episode 3 of whatever, he knows everything. So it's pretty cool to see that. Like I said, Rogue One filled the gaps in right before episode 4, and that was super exciting. Now we're having this. It's like they could totally do a Luke Skywalker series that takes place after The Mandalorian, where he takes Grogu, and it's just, I have a feeling that they're just going to keep cranking out more content. It's just going to all come together. So I'm really excited where this show's going. I loved it. It was cool. The cloner who created them, one with the real long neck, the Kaminoan, she helped them get away. They didn't know it, but she did. She helped, which was cool. It's like she was proud of her reject clones. The whole thing was great. And the first episode, 72 minutes. That's a pretty lengthy episode. So I was really glad we got that. And we'll see where it goes. I'm kind of rambling, but yeah, I'm very excited about this show. I was not excited about this show. I was like, it's going to be okay. Let's get an Ahsoka series. Let's get this where, we're Sabine, that's how I was feeling about it. And now that I've seen the first episode, I can't wait for next week. Bring me another episode. I'm ready to see it. So with that, I give the Bad Batch a thumbs up. I totally loved it. And I can't imagine even the naysayers out there. All my friends laugh at me. Oh, you're the positive guy, likes everything. I can't see what anybody could complain about in this. It was cool. They gave you a little conflict. There's some obvious stuff that's happening in this show, but with their teammate becoming a complication, it adds for some interesting drama, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So there you go, guys. Check back with us. Be sure you hit up small screen if you're not subscribed to the channel. Be sure to do that. We've got stuff coming out all the time. That should do it. And next week, we're going to talk some more about the Bad Batch. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you soon.